So this program is a 2-year program. Can you go on second slide, maybe, Lorenza? It's a full-time program. Thank you. You will get 120 ECTS during these 2 years. So the European Credits Transfer System. And really, it is an original program because we have 4 semesters in 4 different European countries. So the first semester is in University of Trento, Italy, and Roberta Quell is the coordinator from Italy, and she will be speaking soon. The second semester is in France, and I'm responsible for this part. It is in Annecy, University Savoie-Mont-Blanc. The third semester is in Kassel in Germany, and Hal is the coordinator for this part. And the fourth semester is in University of León and in Spain. And Carmen Santos is here as well to make a part of the presentation and address your questions. So when you complete this program, what you get at the end of these 2 years, if you are successful, is what we call the EMBS joint degree. So Lorenza, you can go on next slide. You will have a joint degree, and at the same time, you will have master degree from each of the different universities. So that would be great if I could see the slides, because then you have the name of the degree in the different language, and I don't want to risk to say something that is not going to be correct. So I think next slide is arriving. So I'm going there. So here you can read the different degrees you will have at the end of the 2 years if you are successful in this master program. Okay, so you will have a master degree in Italy, in France, in Germany, and also in Spain. So let me now briefly define some of the main features of this program. So of course, it is a program that is taught in English. Okay, so in each of the countries, you will have courses in English. In addition, you will have local language courses and at different levels. So in Italy, Italian courses, in Germany, German courses, and so on. You will not get ECTS for that. Okay, they are compulsory, but you will not get ECTS for these local language courses. You will benefit from a very heterogeneous environment. So there is a mix of students from different countries. So they did follow different bachelor program, and also they have a very different culture. In addition to, what you would expect from such a program, mainly focusing on marketing and sales, we have some compulsory additional activities. So for instance, you will start at the very beginning of the first semester with an improvisational workshops, and that is going really to break the ice at the beginning of the program. And you will have other workshops during the program. We have a company project and a consulting project as well. So one of them is already happening during the second semester of the program. You have an intensive program, so that's really making you busy for a whole week. We also have an annual corporate seminar with the EMBS Alumni Association. So this seminar is happening every year, meaning you will enjoy it twice. It's happening in another city, not the city where you would be currently studying, and it's mixing the 2 years, the 2 cohorts, currently studying for the EMBS together with the alumni. Finally, at the end of the program, you will have to do a compulsory at least 3 months internship. Yeah, next slide is perfect, Roberta. A quick look at the history. So everything started in 2007. I was not the main coordinator at that time, and but you will still hear Carmen Santos and and Italo Trevisan at some point, and they were the founders of of this program. And then it really developed during all these years. So we go through double degree agreement at some point, and finally we reach the joint degree. We got an accreditation, the EPAS accreditation in 2017. We got it for 3 years, and we just got it again this year, and this time we have it for 5 years. And I'm very happy and proud to tell you that currently the EMBS 14 students, they are running presential or nearly fully presential with more than 20 students over 27 in Annecy. So they managed to come, we managed to make the course presential. It is online for the one that did not join because they could not because of the COVID. And so I think it's quite exceptional currently for an international program to have this happening. Now I let the floor to Ralf Wagner. He will be speaking about the main objectives of the program.
Yes, thank you very much, Aude. So a warm welcome from Germany as well. So I'm quite happy that you're interested in our program, or we are happy, put it that way. And so the main objective, so the program is about you. It's about the students. And what we want to do is we want to support you in your personal development. And for us, development is not reading a book, but doing. And of course, you will experience, if you apply for the EMBS and you get accepted, you will experience something that is quite exceptional. And you will completely step out of your comfort zone. And so you will live in 4 European countries and get the daily life in these countries instead of just having holidays or something completely different. In addition to that, we teach you how to do management, how to do marketing and all that stuff. So professional development, you will learn a lot about intercultural collaboration, our social development, because the EMBS is an intercultural program. We have students from all over the world, and that brings a lot of challenges, but also a lot of fun. And so we try to form something out of you that we call the European managers. And so our alumni, as is written here on the slides, they feel home in business worldwide in international contexts. Next slide, please. Tools. So what you're going to learn is about management techniques. How to professionally prepare negotiations, how to do negotiations, how to do marketing, how to do research, how to do statistics, all that. You will learn about sales. You will learn a lot about marketing. And of course, you will work with some companies on real world projects. So we are not the guys who are just coming up with some textbook cases, but we are coming with real challenges. You will work in the intensive program. We have a lot of workshops, seminars, and you will experience an environment that is challenging you, but therefore you will get a lot of additional learnings. Yes, next slide, please. The structure is students start in Trento. There we do the fundamentals. There you learn about basic business concepts, and we try to equalize the knowledge of the students because you have various backgrounds, and therefore we need 1 semester of equalizing and getting you on the common work basis, put it that way. Then students go to Annecy, to France. There you get some specialized knowledge, what we think is important for the students' future, professional future, their careers. When you're coming to Kassel, the Kassel semester is one of the busiest because of the master thesis. So it's somehow, let's say, dominated by the working on the master thesis, and that is an exception to other programs. So we would do the master thesis in the 3rd semester, so that in the 4th semester, when you go to Lyon, you are free to focus on applying for internships, applying for starting positions, and learning a lot of applied things. And already in Kassel, you are getting courses on negotiation, management, negotiation training. You're getting courses on e-commerce and distribution management. That goes into the direction of very applied and hands-on work.
Here my mic. So I think that I need to intervene, and in particular on the part of the University of Trento. We will be in the first semester, so you will get introduced in the EMBS semester. And honestly speaking, the Trento semester is very, very theoretical. And at the beginning, it's quite scary, in particular for the non-Italian students that are not used to have so much theories to study. But it's kind of building blocks for the whole program. Then you will use this knowledge to go in depth in the thesis and the other argument later. There are, a part of this theoretical content, we will provide you some other extra activities according also on the activities that carry on in the university. And we will go through kind of business game, for instance, in Trento, intensive program like marketing game or company projects. And the first semester in Leon is really dedicated on the other side to the company activities. So you will be stressed on going on the very practical knowledge that is required by companies. And yeah, I don't know if Carmen wants to add some other issues on that, on the Leon part.
Yeah, if you wish, I can, Roberta. So as Roberta has said, during the first semester, you will be in Leon, and in Leon, it is more oriented towards, okay, already beginning to work for a company, and that is why we have included in the syllabus a company project. So you will have to deal already with a situation in a company that wants to export a product, or they want to improve the image of a brand, or change the perception that the consumer may have about the brand, and you have to deal with different tasks that you have to perform and to do it as if you were already in a company. Okay. Also in the semester, we have visits to companies. This year, we are trying to do it online, but I am sure that for the coming years, they will be solved and we can again enjoy visiting real companies. And apart from that, during the semester, apart from other courses, you have to search your ideal internship. Okay. And I am glad to inform you that most of the students, after the internship, they get hired in these companies, and they are getting very good positions in them.
Perfect. And then we will go through the first year. As I mentioned, in Trento is the beginning of the program, and the courses are very theoretical, but they are referring to the building blocks that are required for the master program. And is also a way to align all the students at the same level. So provide you the content that is required to, align all the competencies in the group. We will go through topics on European and international commercial law. Then is a course that I do teach that is on organizational behavior and human resource management. And we will go through a specific content on the information system, then international accounting, and finally strategic management. This is the first semester. Usually we will start in the beginning of this September and is going to finish in December. And then you have before Christmas and then the month of January to make the exams on that. The second semester you will start in February, the beginning of February. And then you will continue in Annecy in France, that is a beautiful city, by the way, up to June. So you will go through all the content that are more, quantitative, like statistics and marketing research. Then you will go through purchasing and supply chain management, European and global consumer behavior, European and global economics, financial markets. Again, here, on top of these basic content and courses, you will have the opportunity to take other courses, activities that are offered to all the students, the international students, at the different universities, both in Trento and in Annecy. And this is the first year. So your duty the first year is to take classes, hopefully we'll do in presence, live the life of EMBS experience, that is really having a class that is multicultural with students from all the countries, and staying together, working together to pass the exams mainly, and acquiring knowledge on that. Then in the second year, you will start to apply this knowledge in more concrete concepts, like the thesis, for instance. And you will have two other courses. One is business negotiation and distribution management, plus the thesis. So you will use the methods that you studied in France on statistic analysis and other aspects like that, or information system that you studied in Trento, plus the theories that you studied in both countries. So you will able to apply these theories, this content in the thesis. You will carry on the thesis the third semester. You will discuss the thesis in January, and then in February you will start the real fun part of the year of the master. That is one semester in Spain, in which you will do sustainable and responsible management, innovation and entrepreneurship, communication challenge, and then the 3 months internship. So the goal of that semester is to be ready to work. So acquire all the knowledge that is needed to really learn on how to deal with companies, how to get in touch with the company, find companies for internship, do your internship. As soon as you finish the internship, we will start with all the practices, let's say with the administrative stuff, to have the degree. And the proclamation of the degree will be the next January, in order to allow all of you to finish the program and have a party together at the end of the master. I think that I need to leave the floor to my colleagues now.
Yep. Okay, so thank you so much. And after all these courses, be sure that we try to put you under a lot of pressure, okay? So you are ready to work in whatever kind of company as international managers, okay? With intensive programs and with the consultancy projects and so on and so forth. And with all that, we are sure that with this program, the students that finish it, they are very well prepared for international management positions, especially but not exclusively in marketing areas. And it will be capable of embarking on ambitious careers. We are sure about that. Examples of the countries, the main destinations are Germany, the Nordic and Baltic countries, United Kingdom, Spain, Italy, France, Hungary, Bulgaria, Germany, USA, Netherlands. So there are EMBS students all over the world.
So maybe I can take the floor again. So to give you a quick overview of the program, the intake is in September each year. There is no admission in second year or during any of the semester except the first one. The class size is up to 30 students. So usually it's between 20 and 30 students. Application deadline are the following, and you can find them as well on the website. So for the non-EU, it's going to be 10th of March. For the EU citizen, we have the early bird and another deadline later on. And you have to keep in mind, but it's going to be more detailed later on during this presentation, that the minimum requirements is a bachelor degrees with at least 50% of exams in economics and management related fields, English at B2 level and computer skills. And you need to have a degree grade at least 19/110. So you can find very precise requirements on our website. regarding accommodation, so there is a service in each university that is helping EMBS students find an accommodation. And usually now it's happening in a very smooth way. So for instance, even now in France, where you can imagine the situation is a bit complicated, there was actually no problem for the students to find an accommodation. And even now we have students that had problems to get their visa. They're arriving a bit late, but still they managed to find an accommodation. There are also the compulsory activities, but I already taught you about that. So the internships, the consulting projects, the workshops, and maybe some words about the tuition fees. So they are about 3,500 per year. So it means we have tuition fee per year plus something that needs to be paid to each partner university as administrative fee. And again, you can find that on our website. For the examination rules, so we are quite strict with the attendance. Of course, we are a little bit more flexible with the COVID, but keep in mind that the requirement is 80% in Trento, 70% in the other partner universities. In case of failure, an exam can be repeated twice and only twice. In the same way, in particular for Italian students, keep in mind that a past exam cannot be repeated. So if you pass, you pass. And you cannot choose to do it again, you're great. If a student does not attend an examination or does not comply with the other obligations, so for instance, the company project or the master's thesis, the internship, and so on, unless for reason she or he is not responsible for, then the student will have failed the corresponding module or part module. But if the student cannot be held responsible, then the examination board decides on how the student can fulfill the requirements. So now let me leave the floor to Lorenza Zucchetti.
Yes, here I am. Yeah, just a few words and details about admission requirements. As already mentioned, EMBS is a consecutive master program, so it's aimed at students who completed a bachelor degree, minimum 180 ECTS credits. And this means it's not an MBA program aimed at professionals mainly. So very important, students should have completed a bachelor degree with a focus on economics and management. But if you attended a bachelor degree with another background or specialization like social sciences, languages, engineering, it's important that at least 50% of the courses you passed during your bachelor degrees are somehow related to the economics and management fields. This is very important for us. There are some special rules applying to students with an Italian bachelor degree, because in this case, it would be nice if you can contact me and I will provide you with more details, because according to the Italian rules, there are some additional requirements we need to check together. But as a general entry requirement, consider that if you don't have a bachelor degree in economics and management, your degree should include at least 50% of courses in economics and management related fields. Another very important entry requirement is your final mark. So at the end of your bachelor degree, you should be able to confirm that you graduated with a minimum mark, which is 95 out of 110 in Italy, 13 in France, 2.5 in Germany, 6.5 in Spain. or an equivalent final mark in other countries. Of course, a very important sound knowledge of English. So B2 is the minimum entry requirements, but consider that most of our applicants can, they have a C1, sometimes a C2 level in English. Some of them are native speakers. So B2 level is really the entry requirement, minimum entry requirement. And we strongly recommend that you try anyway to improve your English knowledge before you start the EMBS program, because as already said, you will work in a multicultural environment, and most of our courses imply that you are able to interact with other students, so English should be not a problem for you. Of course, a good command of most common computer applications. So we expect you to be able to use a PC and softwares in the proper way. And very important, we know that some of you will apply before completing the bachelor degree. This is not a problem. You can do it. You can do that. The only important thing is that you complete your bachelor degree by October, and so that you are able to provide us with all your study documents by November 2021. There is a mistake in the slide. It's not 2020, but 2021. And so no problem if at this time you are still attending and completing your bachelor or undergraduate program. You can submit your application, but consider that you should be done with your undergraduate program by October this year. The next slide, please. Okay, some information about the previous EMBS generations. So average age is between 23 and 24 years old. And there are slight differences among the different EMBS cohorts or generations. The next slide, please. Academic background. As you can see, most of our applicants and then admitted students, they have a bachelor degree or academic background in business and economics related fields, some of them in marketing or international trade, but we also have a decent number of applicants and admitted students with different backgrounds, meaning languages, finance, or other academic fields like computer science, engineering, social sciences. But again, please consider that 50% of exams taken during your undergraduate program should be in business and economics related fields. The next slides. Okay, here you have some links to the most important websites, but also videos showing you, giving you a hint about the EMBS Live. So you will find official websites, but also a video explaining you why you can choose EMBS, or better, why you should choose EMBS. And then there are also some videos about some very important and also touching moment that we share as EMBS family, like the EMBS seminar in Rome. Every year we spend 1 week or less than 1 week in one European city, having the first year generation and the second year generation working together and also working together with the alumni. So it's a very important moment for the EMBS program because all the people involved in the program, students, alumni, professors, administrative staffs, can gather together in a European city and share their experience and work together in different activities like seminars, company visits, and attending speeches from people from the industry, etc. It's a very, very nice moment for all of us. The next slides, but I think I'm done. Yes. So I leave the floor again to, yeah, there are some links about social media we are using to promote the EMBS program. But now I give the floor to the alumni. There are two representatives of the alumni with us.
Everybody, hi there. Giulio here. Again, my name is Giulio Bonanni. Some of you might understand from the name I'm from Italy, even if currently I'm talking to you from Vienna, Austria. I'm 27 years old, part of right now the alumni community, and I was part of the EMBS 9th generation. At the moment, guys, you are going to be the generation 15. Time flies, guys. I wish I didn't ask this question. Probably let's rewind it back. Now, I graduated before from the University of Trento, Bachelor of Economics and Management. That's the main reason why I got to know this program. And well, yeah, by then it was, my round of application was spring 2015. I entered the program into September 2015 and officially finished it in January 2018. But by then I was already working because I don't know if things remain the same. Probably they did, but we were supposed to find an internship of at least 3 months by the end of the program, which I did, no problem. Actually, in the end, I found 4 and I could pick the one I wanted to. And then I started working, and fortunately, these times I never stopped. So that's here I am. Now, a few words about the program from a student perspective, even if things might have changed. So professors will be able to tell you whether things are still the same or not. I always like numbers. I proudly define myself as a nerd. And well, at the moment, I am actually working on numbers myself. So I didn't change it, and actually I went into that direction. I work currently as a title. I am a solutions consulting. In the end, I'm a software engineer somehow. I work for a company that produces and sells a software for data analysis, especially in digital marketing, which in the end, this program allowed me to have a bit of step in between, because anyway, it's marketing related. Not specifically digital marketing, but anyway, thanks to the one end, the knowledge that some of the knowledge that I got through the program. On the other hand, the bachelor thesis I did about digital advertising and my numericity, all in all, it allowed me directly after the program. Actually, I spent 2 internships. One of them was in a marketing agency right after the end of the program. Secondly, I went to BMW in Munich as an intern, and finally arrived in Vienna, where I'm working at the moment as a solutions consultant. I see something in the chat. Is it no? Okay, not for everybody. Now, I was saying, life as a student. It has been said this is an international program for different countries. So you move with your mates. That will be basically the best lifetime friends, I would say, for these 2 years across Europe. And well, from a human and student perspective, it's amazing. You make friends that will be there basically for life. I still have regular contacts with all of them. And I'm really looking forward for COVID to be over to go visiting them. You will always have a network of people that can host you here and there, mostly in Europe. So free vacations, let's put it that way. It's actually very nice to be hosted somewhere else in Europe for free. I don't want to sell this program after a touristic point of view, don't get me wrong, but there are perks here and there that are that is good to highlight. As said, the program is very international, very multicultural. By then we were 25 when I was there, by 12 different nationalities. So you really get in contact with many people coming from different backgrounds, and you start comparing pros and cons of every approach. So, you know, Italians are said to be very theoretical, and I can't deny, but that is also has its highlights, his benefits. Never had a problem in facing a thick book to study, whereas other approach might have struggled more with that, but performed better in other areas. So, you know, you have the chance to compare things together. The fact that you will be moving from state to state and you will have to face the challenges of doing that. Yes, the universities are helping, but in the end, a good part of work it's on your shoulders. That forges you to be very, very flexible, very adaptable. And in the end, this is something that it's highly valued by a potential employer on one day, because, I mean, professors really, don't get me wrong with this, but the job that you will be doing is something that for the biggest part of that you will learn on the job. So universities are giving you the tools to learn some degree of knowledge, they do, but at the end, the real job is learned on the job itself. Or at least it should be, because otherwise, if you can learn a job outside of the job, that job is not that good, can be learned by everybody, and most likely will not be that good paid. So
thank you, Giulio, for your experience. I think that I'm pretty sure that the participant will come out with questions to you and also to the other students. I just want to underline, if I may, that in the slides there is a kind of summary of what you alumni are making. Up to now, we are, as Giulio mentioned, is generation 14. We have 250 EMBS graduated already, and they are working all around Europe mainly, but also the world. And they want to, have a strong. They usually have a strong connection with the students, but also with the market. So it's also a good, let's say, a good connection with the market and companies, also to have future jobs done and so on and so forth. So I really invite you all to visit the LinkedIn group, that is the EMBS Alumni, the Facebook, that again is the EMBS Alumni, and the Instagram network, and plus the page that is dedicated to the EMBSalumni.com, or the email. So you will see what are the jobs that people are making, the experience that Giulio already showed to you, traveling all around, having jobs, they're fascinating, in which the content that is studied in EMBS is applying in the real science. I don't know if Thomas is here. Perhaps not.
That's 3.
Okay,
so
I think that we can go through.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't mind, we can go to the last.
Yes, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. Participate.
Oops, okay, and here are the contacts. The ANSI, in which there is, the coordinator of the whole program is Aude Pomeret, and then Camille Ravet is working and providing you feedback for all the administrative issues that you want to point out, plus Lorenza Zuccati in Trento that you already heard and in the presentation. On the other side of the academic part, perhaps I don't know if Aude wants to, was okay. The academic is Aude Pomeret, that is also the whole coordinator, of the whole program. Roberta Fuori, it's me, plus and there is also Italo Travisan, that was the former coordinator of the EMBS, that is still helping us in all these issues of EMBS. For Germany, there is Ralph Wagner that you met at the beginning of the presentation, and Carmen Santos that also was talking with me during the previous presentation. I leave the floor to, I think, the last slide.
Yeah, so we are about to start with the Q&A session. Just before we do that, I would like, we have two current students with us. They are EMBS 13 students, so they are currently doing the second year of our master program. So I would love that they introduce themselves briefly, the one after the other. So I leave you the floor, Emanuele and Elsa.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Emanuele Amoroso. I'm Italian. From South Italy, from a small region. And I'm EMBS generation 13. I'm in Spain right now, not where I was supposed to be. I'm not in Leon, not yet. And I hope I will join my classmates soon. And I don't know what else I can add right now. Probably something interesting can be why I decided to join the EMBS program. And briefly, I will say that for me, the program was like a different business card, something unique. And now I can confirm that the program is exciting, is an enriching experience, and also a tough journey. So this is like a good reason for me, a good reason why you should choose the program, because it brings together the social part, but also the professional part, because I think you can both develop yourself personally and professionally. And yeah, I leave the floor to Elsa, and you can ask me whatever you want.
So hello everyone, I'm Elsa, I'm from France. So I'm also part of Generation 13. We wanted to give you like two different nationalities. So we're only two, but like make sure you can ask us anything you want on social media. Some of us contact us directly. They're like, oh, I saw you're in program. Don't hesitate to ask us any question here or even afterwards. Even in the LinkedIn, some of us are managing it. So you also have the professors. So we are really here to help you. A little bit about myself. So I'm French. I did my education in France. I also participated in Erasmus before. I personally have a background in management and economics, but you can also have some other backgrounds, and it's not an issue. This program really makes you have all the perspective. And it's very interesting, but maybe you will have more precise questions. So it's better we answer it directly, I hope.
Probably to break the ice, you can even write in the chat and we will give you the answer.
I have a question about the language courses, actually. I didn't understand exactly if there are like, if we have to do them, or if it's just a choice that we have.
So in Italy, you can, like in each country, we can follow them. So you have generally for like non-Italian on each country, you are provided for the course of the home language. So in Italy, it's Italian, for example. But since I'm French, in France, I had the possibility to follow German or Spanish. So you can prepare the other semester if you want. It's better to follow them because it's easier to do everyday life and to communicate. But in some cases, because some of us have very good knowledge, or we had other personal issue, we didn't follow them, but we really encourage you to do so. It's interesting, even if you just get the bags. It's easier in the like supermarket to just like say some word in German.
Oh, sure. Okay, thank you.
And you don't get grades, but in France, for instance, you can get an accreditation for having reached some.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. In every country, you can get them. So in Spain here, for example, it can be very useful to have, for example, with Emanuele, we will get a C1 certificate in Spanish, could be useful for internship afterwards.
Yeah, of course.
So you don't have to pass some like paid exam sometimes. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I also have a question. First of all, do the marketing courses include SEO, search engine optimization?
Yeah, I mean, you can like do your own research. You can ask some professor know about the topic, and you have the opportunity to develop some knowledge about search engine optimization. But let's say that you should do it on your own. But some professors know about it, and you have time. You know, now mock courses are so common, and you can easily do a mock on SEO during one of the semesters.
Okay, thank you. And I have one other question, because besides business, I'm quite into languages. Is there the opportunity to get official language certificates in every country university?
So if you follow each course, you will have at the end of each an exam, and you can have a language certificate. So you can have them. It's not the TOEIC, for example, or the DELE, but you can still have the possibility to follow them. So the course can prepare you to do so, but you have a certificate from the university of the language center related to the university. So it has some values. But I mean, you will need it afterward for companies. So if you provide that the university has this level, it's better, because work generally don't ask you to have official certificates most of the time.
And they're not official because you do not pay for the courses. They're all free.
That's good to hear. But do the certificates include, for example, B2 level? Do they mention that level, or?
Yes, so there's a lot of questions there. So generally in each, you have, for example, in Italy, Lorenza sends you the detail about the center language. So you have a pre-test to have your level, more or less. It was the same here in Spain or in Germany. I don't know about France since I'm French, but I'm pretty sure they had the same. So you have different group levels adapted to your levels. You follow them. For example, here in Spain is very nice because they ask us to do motivation letter, cover letter in Spanish, because we're in the upper level, and to do element very professional we can use. And at the end, we have the certification written A1, even in Germany, like some of us get the A1 or A2 because we are very beginners, but it's still useful somehow. Could be to C1. We don't know yet for Spanish, because we have a lot of very good Spanish speaker in our groups. We'll probably get a C1 or C2, maybe.
Thank you very much.
I think that
I would like to come back to your question with the search engine optimization. So I have a full lecture on targeting that is unfortunately not part of the EMBS curriculum. But if you are interested in, you're enrolled at our university, so you can get an admission to my lecture on targeting, and so you can learn a lot about that, and not only about optimization, but also about analytics. So if you're interested in that, is full covered.
Oh, great! That's really good to hear. Thank you.
And
for the extra courses.
Also,
if I can add also another thing is just to it's not only your duty, folks, to answer to all the students. We really appreciate. But then I think that we can also add some other answers, like again, it depends on the type of, or each university has its own procedure. So this is important stuff to make it clear. Students have to go through 4 different systems that are slightly different. And this, in our idea, this is also a goal, an intended learning outcome, in order to finish the EMBS, knowing how the administrative offices may change according to the different countries and going through that. The idea is to provide you all the services, like all the levels of languages, in particular for Italian, German, Spanish, and French. The way in which it is organized, it depends on how the university is organized. For instance, in Trento, we have a service that is provided to the whole students of the university. So we need to combine the schedule, for instance, with the EMBS, not all the time you make it, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, as soon as you get in, you will introduce, this procedure. If you don't mind, I want to go to another question that is in the chat, that is about the languages for the test of admission. I don't know if Lorenza, you want to answer on that.
Yep, sure. So the question is from class, asking about IELTS or education entirely taught in English. So an international language certificate is not compulsory for admission to the EMBS program, but you can somehow prove that you have at least a B2 level in English in different ways. So you can provide us with an international language certificate like TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge certificate, but you can also provide us with the results of university exams, or if your previous background, so if your bachelor degree is run entirely in English, you can just submit a document in your application confirming that English is a language of education at your current or former university.
And then again, if I can, it's also, there is another question also for you, Lorenza. It's about you or Lorenza or Camille, about the accommodation fee per month or per semester and how it works. It's from Sophia from Kassel. So I can just start to introduce the topic. Each country has different type of accommodation. Trento, we have
student hall. Student hall.
Yeah. Student hall. I was thinking in Italian, so sorry for that. And
dorms.
Yeah, the dorms. And so this is the best way to have the students, because students will come from all the countries and will stay very close to each other. So it's also a good way to create a good feeling, a team, and working together. And Lorenza in particular will help you all to find the accommodation there.
Yep. If I may add, okay, there are different options about accommodation depending on the semester. For instance, in Trento, again, we have dorms. So all admitted students will receive, before they arrive in Trento, information about how to book a room in one of our dorms. Cost depend on the type of room. So there are different prices depending on single or double rooms. And of course, you are also free to search for accommodation on the private market. But again, living all together in the dorms could be a good way for you to be part of the EMBS family as soon as possible. In the other countries like France, Germany, and Spain, you could have different options, like in France, but then my French colleagues, Camille, could give you some more details.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so just to complete what Lorenza said about French accommodation, so we offer you our help in finding student accommodation. So in student residence, so le CRUS, in addition to the cost of the student accommodation, which is not very high, we help you to apply for housing aid, which allows you to get help from the French state, the French government, to pay less for your accommodation. Okay, so of course you are free to look for accommodation on your own, but you should know that Annecy is a city where accommodation is quite expensive. So I mean, it can be great to enjoy the help we can provide you.
If I can, in Trento, my advice: go and live all together in the dorms. Like you will have the opportunity to spend a lot of time together, and in Annecy, also contact the previous generations, because like right now my my former landlord is renting the house where I live to new students, from the generation 14. So it's also important to have contact with previous generation.
Yeah, just about that, like, I know you're starting, but like, make sure you will be sure in Italy you will have accommodation all together, so you'll be able to know each other. And slowly, because it's for university, so it can be a little bit complicated to know which person to ask. But the French organization, in October, they will start sending you information about residence, how to do so. So you have a transition between each semester, and it's very good. And in each faculty, we had help to have residence. They help you with the paper of the grants, because I saw some questions on the chat. And you will have really the follow-up from one faculty to the other one. It's very, I mean, I was a little bit scared at the beginning because it's like 4 universities, so you're like a little bit lost, but they really coordinate together and you will have it smooth. And so it's super nice. And for the one asking, because I saw someone was asking about the fee, you generally have at the beginning of each year's, and you pay as a 200 generally per university afterwards. So you pay at September, you do the full year, so it's 3,000 maybe the first year, and then the second year you do in September again, and you do little parts for Spain when you enter Spain, because the 2 years you are in France. So it's true that sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming because you have 4 coordinators, 4 administrative person, but they really communicate between themselves and it's very smooth at the end.
Any other question live? So we will hear you, folks.
I have a question.
Yes, Sarah.
Hi. Well, I'm Latina, so I'm not EU, and I would like to know about the 4 programs because, as you know, I have to apply for the visa. So now I'm wondering, I know the university is a German one, so I guess I have to apply for the German one and I won't have any problem if I want to go to the other countries to study or to do the internship.
May I, what do you mean by the university is a German one?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I said that I need to apply for the visa.
Yeah.
Because I'm not European, okay? So I have to do it through the German embassy or?
No, you have to do it through each embassy, because the first semester will be in Italy. So the University of Trento will help you submit your visa application to the Italian embassy in your home country.
Yeah, the problem is that I'm in France, so I don't...
Are you studying in France?
Exactly.
Okay, so depending on the stay permit for France that you have at the moment, we will see if you can move to the other European countries like Italy, Germany, and Spain by using your current immigration documents, or if you need to apply for a visa for Italy, for instance, through the Italian embassy in France. So if you are living in France, you don't need at least to move back to your home country to apply for the visa. Then for the French semester, it's possible that you don't need to apply for another visa because maybe you already have all the documents for living in France regularly. While for Germany and Spain, Kassel University and the University of Leon will help you submit your application for their visa to the relevant embassy.
Okay.
But for all non-European countries, generally speaking, the rules is that you need to apply each time to the relevant embassy in order to get a visa to entry Italy, France, Germany, and Spain.
Okay, I understand. I have another question also about the health insurance. It's gonna be like and for each country, I guess, right? Okay. And now that we are talking
unless you already have the European health insurance, like the team card, which is the European health insurance, and it should be valid for the 2 years. So in order to cover the first and the second EMBS year.
Okay. And about I have the word in French. You know, in France we have like the accommodation, sorry. I know you already said it, there was in Italy, I know there's in Germany, in France, but what about Spain? Like the school has like accommodation for a student.
Normally in Spain, when you arrive, you are so much the family, the EMBS family, that you want to share a flat with some of your your flatmates, of your colleagues, you know. But of course, we have also dorms. But if I remember correctly, from all those generations, maybe they have used them 10 students in total, you know, because they prefer to have, because surrounding the campus where the faculty is, we have a lot of flats for students. Okay.
Okay.
I confirm the family spirit is going to be there, and you will want to live with your mates rather than in a student dorm on yourself. And of my generation, nobody did.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions. So what about the books? It's like an extra fee, or we don't need to pay anything else?
It depends on the professors in this case.
Okay.
And courses, there are some books that you need to buy, and some other articles or papers that are provided in the libraries of the universities. It depends on the syllabus of each professor. Most of the content is freely available, but it may happen that you have to buy a couple of books.
Yeah, just to like go on what Rebecca Quell said about it, like it's not like in the US or you have to buy one book 30 euro each.
Exactly.
Like over the 2 years, we had to buy one book only, I think, for Professor Italo Trevisan. And it's only one book entirely. And for example, we really try to make bonds between generations. So for example, I share my book to the buddies helping. So you can also ask the other generation. So it's not really a cost you have to consider when you be part of this program. Like it's just administration fees and accommodation, but you don't have like extra costs coming up.
Okay, and sorry, I have another one. It's about the language courses. So of course, I do speak Spanish and I do speak French. So I was wondering, for example, if I go to Spain, I won't need to learn Spanish. So I can choose another language like German, or the same in France. Like I wouldn't like to continue with French courses because I already do speak the language. So I would choose for, I don't know, Italian or German. Is it possible?
So maybe for France, it's sort of tailor-made. We try to do it depending on the language you want to learn. And I have to admit, this was not possible this year because of COVID. So we could not organize that for the students, in particular for instance, native French. So far, we were not able to organize that. Usually, we at least try, and it depends on the language you want to learn. But there is no, in France, there is no guarantee for that.
Yes. Hi, Amber, just a minute, because there was another student, Helly, waiting for asking his or her question. So if you can just wait a minute.
Hello. My question is the basis of the focus is marketing, right? So most of this subjects will be related to marketing only, because I'm more of a finance student. So I'm not a marketing student. So all the subjects will be about marketing and sales only.
Maybe I can answer. So it's marketing as marketing, but as you saw in the syllabus, you also have human resources, law, accounting. And when you check what the EMBS students are doing, or even our generation, what we're looking for in internship, it's like mainly are looking for marketing, but other people, for example, are looking for project management, supply chain, logistics. So you can do many things afterwards, but it's true that the program is more directed toward marketing, but you also have the content of all over the main department in the company. So the main goal of this master is to really make you a professional able to undertake very fast a position in every company you want, in every department you want. So we for example, not looking for a position in marketing afterward, and I'm not the only one, but this program is very full, so it's very interesting still.
Okay, thank you. And another question. So the internship they told about, we can do anywhere we want, or in specific countries?
You can do it anywhere. The rule is that you should not do it in your own country. I'm Italian and I should not do it in Italy.
Okay.
Although there are a few exceptions. If the company is an international company, multinational company, I can even do my internship there.
Okay. And every semester, how will travel from Italy to France and from France to Germany? How will travel, the transportation?
Flights, train, buses.
Okay. Okay.
It's up to every student depending where you're from. Because like some are from Europe, so we go home between semester, or some come from outside Europe, so they generally stay here for an entire year. Everyone managed, but each university again help you to do the transition in some path for that. Like if you arrive earlier, in anesthesia administration help you, and you decide also according to exam. It's very up to everyone.
Yeah, but if I may add, just to make clear, universities do not organize transportations from students from one country to the other country. So it's up to each student to arrange and organize how they want to move from one country to the other ones.
This is, however, not valid for the seminar week. Remember, I told you that there is 1 week per year where you are put somewhere together in Europe. And in this case, this is organized, actually not by university, but by the seminar team that is in fact second year master students. So you enjoy it the first year and some of you organize it the next year.
Let me jump in also on that. First, the transportation between one country and the other, you should not see it as, oh my God, the universities are not helping me, but as a challenge that will make you grow for some extent, that will make you feel more flexible and organized. And in the end, in the company's world, in the job market, this is usually a very good soft skill. Secondly, thanks all for mentioning it, the seminar. Sorry, okay. Cool. The seminar week within the year, I was actually in the organizational team that organized the seminar in Rome in 2017, and this is an extremely good opportunity that you want to, if you want to take it, because this is a very good stage in which you can bring from 100 to 150 people from all over Europe and some more even in 1 week, for 1 week in one city in Europe. If you're planning to work in event management, or if you want to consider it, this is an extremely valuable chance that you have to give. And again, working within the marketing-oriented course, but not only marketing. This is also another door that is there for you to explore it in case you want to take this chance.
Okay, thank you all.
There was Amber asking for a question, and then we have Pia. So,
oh sure. Hello. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Hi, so someone just answered my question or asked it, so I guess I'll switch over to, as a non-EU student, will I be able to, as this person, as Kamak asked, so I'm also a non-EU citizen, and my question will be related to that. Normally, after completing a master's degree in the EU, you have a residence permit to find a job for 1 year. Is that offered in this program?
I can talk about Italy. Yes, you can have this option because at the end of the 2 years, you will receive a joint master degree, which is valid and recognized in Italy. So yes, you can apply for a stay permit in Italy for new graduate students.
Just, sorry, just another.
Provided there are no changes in the current rules. Because
Exactly.
of course, they are national rules, and so.
This is first thing, and the second one is you need to apply on that very early. So don't wait the end of the whole process to think about your permit of stay, but think it in advance. According to the previous experience that we got with our students, also because of the COVID situation, etc., some students get problems to have the stay permit because they just wake up too late, and then you need to schedule quite on time the activity in this case, just to be sure that you're able to stay in Europe longer.
Absolutely, thank you. And then my last question is, do you guys have any examples of some of the companies that students got internships with, as well as do you guys, what's like the main countries that students, non-EU students, get internships in?
Okay, I don't remember exactly the EU and non-EU because for us it's all a group, a cohort. I don't know if Ralph want to add something about that. I see that.
I wanted to add to the previous question. So
Sorry.
you can work in Germany as well for 1 year. So same applies, same rules than in Italy apply in Germany. So I think they apply all over Europe. And second point is internships worldwide. So we had already internships in Costa Rica, in
Malaysia,
Japan, I think, and
China,
Mexico.
Malaysia.
And so Julio, we have a lot of EMBS internships with B. Brown. I think you were one of them as well.
No, I was not in B. Brown, but one of my former classmates still works for B. Brown. We had also another internship in my generation in the States. So yeah, generally speaking, at least for the European students, most of them tend to go to Germany. But again, it's not a must. It's not you have to go to Germany. It's a preferred choice.
You can go.
I belong to that.
And
I belong to that group.
Yeah, and so we always have a cluster of students doing their internship at B. Brown. That's a medical device producer next to Kassel. And so the nice thing is that the students come over and sometimes meet with the students when they study in Germany. So there's a little bit of contact, put it that way. And we keep the spirit of the EMBS family alive. And you are not restricted to do your internship in a commercial company. So we already had internships with the World Bank, and we had internships with NGOs. So you can work for, if you're interested in, I don't know what, saving lives, supplying people in need with food. So I'm working with a lot of NGOs. They are in waste management and plastic substitution and all that stuff. And so you can do an internship in that as well. So you're not restricted to do an internship in a company and learn about how to sell services or products. Additionals, Carmen? Because you are the master of internships.
Yeah, only to add that it is kind of compulsory that you do it in a different country, that it is your nationality. It is kind of compulsory, but we have exceptions if the main branch it is in your country, but your tasks will be mainly dealing with international issues and using the English language. We can consider that. What we evaluate in order to accept one internship is the tasks that you are going to perform. That should be high responsibility, high quality. So this is a must for accepting an internship. It is true that the students are very much expecting to work in high companies, very important companies, and they are getting that. So whatever they want, they will get it at the end, because we have had in Hugo Boss and in Armani, so we have had big companies, big, small, whatever the students want.
Wow, thank you so much.
You have on the website of EMBS, on the alumni session, you have some of the companies to have you an idea. So here I just open it. So you have Adidas, you have Nestle, L'Oreal, Siemens, and Johnson & Johnson. You have a lot of them. So like, since a lot of us are European, we generally stay in Europe because it's easier, especially this year with COVID. But you can really do it wherever you want. You just like, sometimes we have to do the visa, so it's a little bit more complicated, but we have a lot of opportunities to be in varied companies. And it's really up to what you're looking for and the department. And if you want huge companies or not. Some are in smaller company, but are very broad mission and very interesting ones.
On top of that as well, that you once you enter in the EMBS community already as a student, you get access to a platform in which you have you can contact any EMBS alumni and any student, and on this platform you also have proposals of internships or jobs. Basically, so there are regular posts about jobs. So obviously that will not be the only source for you to find a job, that can be also an help.
I take the opportunity to introduce Thomas Fevre, who is president of the Alumni Association, who just gave this reply.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Sorry, Anna, there is Pia waiting for her question, and then you are the next one.
Yeah, hi, I'm Pia from Chile. I just have a brief question. I would like to work while doing the master, and I just wanted to know, maybe the other students could tell me if it is possible to work, or you think it's a program too intense and usually students don't work. That's it.
As like student job, like, or during summer?
A student job, they still have some extra money for the
well, in like one of the good thing, I mean, I won't totally answer your question, is like, since we're part of 4 university, we can take the opportunities to do some extra activities provided by each university. So for example, in Trento, many students do as a School of Innovation that Roberta Quell will tell you about for sure. Or some of our students are doing extra courses, so you can manage to find time, but it's still a lot of work, especially in Trento first. If you want, I think you can manage, but you will maybe miss other opportunities.
If I may, the point is that you have to attend the classes, like, as I don't know who said at the beginning, 80% or 70%. And also there will be periods where you will be under pressure. And even though you don't have the opportunity to do a language course, like, sometimes you should not care too much, because you will have a lot to do, and there are many opportunities. There's the Samsung Innovation Camp, the School of Innovation, or there are other projects you can take part in. So so to answer to your question, I don't know, like, you will have a lot to do. And also to answer to the other girl who already speaks French and Spanish, like, do not worry too much if you cannot do a language course, because there are many other opportunities.
Okay, great.
I can tell you that in my generation there were some people who worked as waiter in the bar to get some extra money and so on, but really these are the exceptions. And as the students, and also as myself when I was a student, there are times in which you just can't. So it's not the main purpose, put it that way.
Okay, great.
In some cases, we face some problems, students that were not able to take regular exams and so on and so forth. So it was difficult to go through that,
but
honestly.
You have the summer work and you have grants.
Yeah, sorry.
So like, for example, I was working this summer between the first and second year, so you can make some money. And also you have to make in consideration that you will receive the Erasmus grants and some regional grants from France. So I think it's Cathy and Camille who are more responsible for the grant in France. So you will also have financial help somehow. So it could be useful for some person.
Yeah, we really would not recommend that you work at the same time. It's really a full-time program, and we are not going to be flexible. I mean, you have some attendance to respect. There will be evaluation, and the teachers, they can decide whenever they want to do it. And we will not accept any reason coming from the fact that you are working, because from the beginning, you are not supposed to be working at the same time.
Okay.
So, okay. So if you don't mind, there is Anna Clara waiting for a question, and then maybe we could check some question in the chat, and then there is Philip waiting. So maybe after Anna Clara, I will go through the chat for some answer to the question written in the chat.
Okay, thanks. So I'm doing my bachelor in 2 years. and at the end I will gain 180 ETS. And is it possible to apply for this program even if I don't have 6 semesters in my bachelor?
May I ask you, are you completing the bachelor in 2 years because it's the structure of the bachelor, or because you are so good that you can complete all the exams in 2 years instead of 3?
No, it's the structure that the university is offering the program of the bachelor.
Okay, could you maybe send me to EMBS at unityana.it a copy of your bachelor degree, if you already have it, or of your study plan, just to double check?
Yes.
Okay.
I can send you the plan, and then I will wait for your feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So I can double check and get back to you with the right answer.
Great, thanks.
Lorenza, I think that we have a couple of questions for you too, in particular for you for this admission on credits and this stuff here.
Yeah.
So the one of Giovanni.
Yes, I have a question from Hannah asking about the motivation and CV. So motivation letter should be filled in the online application. So you will find a space, a field in the online application where you can write your motivation letter, while CVs should be uploaded in the online application. So this was a question from Hannah. Then from Giovanni, if you need to take some additional exams because of the credits and exams in economics and business fields, you should do it before enrolling. So this means you should do it before September 2021. It's not possible to be admitted if there are missing credits or exams in business, economics, and the other compulsory fields. So it's something you have to, the additional and extra credits should be completed before the enrollment. And language certificates or proof of English language, of proficiency in English language, should be provided within the online application. So consider that for European citizens, there are 2 deadlines. So if you are not able to submit all documents within the first deadline, which is the 10th of March, you can submit your application within the second deadline, which is the 12th of May. So you can have some more weeks or months to complete and collect all the required documents. Then I have a question from Usman. Of course, you can apply from Pakistan, but students can apply from every country. So Europe, non-European country, there is no, we accept application from all over the world. So there is no problem on that.
We currently have a Pakistani student in France.
Yeah, exactly. Then there is another question from Elmin about when the results of the selection process will be available. They will be available for non-European students within the end of April, because we will check and review all the applications after the application deadline expires, and all the applicants will receive a feedback about the status of their application. So they will be contacted by email, and they will receive a feedback about the fact that they are admitted to the final interview, or about the fact that they are not admitted to the final interview, and this means that they are unfortunately out of the program at that point. Another question someone asked me is if I'm not admitted, I mean, if I apply within the first deadline and I'm not admitted, can I apply again within the second deadline? No, this is not possible, because selection process is one single selection process, regardless the deadline you are applying. So if you are not admitted after the first deadline, you cannot submit again your application within the second deadline.
I mean, you can do it, but the evaluation will be the same. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, honestly.
Yeah, there is no one preventing you from doing that, but it's useless.
Yeah, it's not really convenient.
So, and then there was another question. Sorry, there was someone.
Sorry, I just had a question. I just want to make it sure I understood. So everybody will know the admission status by April.
The first stage, because we will go through the curriculum and your, right, Lorenza? Yes, okay. It's the process, the selection process is going two stages, into phases. The first one is curriculum screening. So we go through your transcript of record, the grades that you have made, the evaluation that you have proposed, your motivation letter. So really, be good on that. So check that you apply to the right program with the right motivation. I mean, now you have, quite a lot of information, what is important for us. Now living in 4 countries, et cetera, et cetera. So think about this multicultural environment and so on. Write your letter of motivation, and we will read all the letters of motivation. We will grade your performance in the transcript of record. Then we will select the best students according to the number of positions that we have. Remember that we have 30 students to be admitted per year, okay? So no more.
And what's the acceptance rate on that?
I don't remember. 40?
It is 1 student out of 5 applications receive, more or less.
20%.
Yeah, depending on the year.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends on the year. So be really, spend time in thinking about your motivational letter. Use your personal experience, your personal inner motivation to write it down and surprise us in some way, okay? This is a good way to be selected.
A reference letter can be attached to, right? Yeah.
Yes, reference letters can be, thank you, Emanuele. And as soon as we will select the best group of students, that of course is more than 30, and we will go through the interviews. And in the interviews, I mean, still, even if we talk different type of English, as I'm used to say, I'm used to use Italian, some others are Frenchish, Germanish, and so on. The idea here is that the colloquium will be online and will be in English in any case. So we will test also the language, we will test your attitude, some other competencies, soft skills, and some other, so we will go through kind of 20 minutes, half an hour of interview at least to discuss with you what are your knowledge and your attitude. Then we will grade you on that. We will combine the grades and we will again come with a short list of admitted students.
Great, thank you.
But also something like they try to smooth nationalities, so you really have nationality differently. So for example, I don't know why, but a lot of Italian are applying, so maybe competition will be tougher for Italians nationality. So they're more in depth into your grade, your recommendation letter, your motivation. So very like be careful and really put to work on it. So the process is a little bit different depending nationalities. I would say especially Italians. So at the end you have Italians, but you also have a lot of nationalities. For example, in our class we have a guy from Netherlands, we have someone from India. So you have a lot of nationality and you very learn from each other.
So the goal, just to make it clear, the goal is to have a multicultural class, a very high quality class, but also multicultural. So I don't know if Aude want to add something. I saw her just moving.
Yeah, something I wanted to add, because I just mentioned that we got an accreditation EPAS, but I went relatively quickly on that during my presentation. You can double check that. It's an accreditation for international program, and it's not everybody gets it. If you have a look, it's usually very good business school that get it. And we were speaking about our fees recently, and they got very different fees from the one you have for the EMBS. So yeah, we got really a recognition for the fact that it is really a good quality program.
So I think we can give the floor to Philip asking this question. Yes. Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
Okay, I have the questions related to the visa procedures that have to be undertaken before we leaving the home country. Because as I'm from India, so I need to know about the visa procedures when we move to the second semester in the France.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Could you please repeat it?
Yeah, I know. I want to know about the visa procedures that have to be undertaken from our home country before we leaving.
Okay. Yes. Okay. When you apply for the visa for the first semester, so when you apply for the visa for Italy, you will be in your home country. So in your case, in India. This means you need to apply through the Italian embassy in India.
Okay.
Then you arrive in Italy, and you will receive the Italian stay permit. And thanks to this document, you can submit your application for the French visa, submitting your application to the French embassy in Italy, in Rome. So this means you don't need to go back to your home country, but you can ask for the French visa while staying in Italy during the first semester. More or less the same applies also for the other semester. So during the semester in France, you will be supported in applying for the visa for Germany without going back to your home country. And the same also during the semester in Germany for the Spanish visa. Then consider that each of you, depending on the home country, may have some slightly different procedures. And also, it might be that depending on the visa that you receive, there are some changes in the procedure. So I'm giving you really a very general overview of the process, but then according to your situation, home country, documents, type of visa you will receive, each university will support you in applying for the proper visa. Don't worry too much about visa, because we already had non-European students in the previous generation. So we are quite used to deal with visa procedure. But at the same time, please remember that visa is always issued by embassy or consulate, and they can apply their own rules. And sometimes, unfortunately, we can try to make pressure on them, but they are the ones who decide about issuing the visa or not. So it's important that you start, in case you are admitted, that you start the visa procedure as soon as possible, just to be on the safe side. But again, we will help you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know if there are other questions, because otherwise there was a question in the chat about type of scholarships. I don't know if the French colleagues could give us some more information about that. And another question was about tuition fees, when they should be paid and how they should be paid.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So I'm the administrative staff in ANSI. So regarding the scholarships, you will have the Erasmus Plus grants for your semester in Trento. Then in ANSI, you won't have any grant because you will be students from France. Well, you will be enrolled as French students, so you won't have any grant for the French semester. Then in Kassel, you will get another grant which will be an Erasmus Plus grant plus a regional grant, a mix of both grants. And for Leon semester in Spain, you will get a regional grant. So for 3 of the 4 semesters, you will get a grant from the Erasmus Plus program or for the regional grant of French.
You first, Roberta.
No. I was just going through the questions. We got also the question from Sophia about the kindergarten. Was Sophia? And I think that in Trento we have one, but I'm not sure that is
it's not
only for administrative and professors.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we have a kindergarten at the university in Trento. It's not an English-speaking kindergarten, as far as I know, but it's not open to children of students. It's only, yeah. Then there are some other private kindergarten. Some of them are also English-speaking, but again, they are not within the university, or they are anyway not part of the university.
In case we will help you in finding the contacts and try to contact them, but we cannot do too much on this. And I don't know if there are other questions, folks.
There was another question from Usman about the tuition fees. So if I may, then Kathy can jump in and add any other details. We have 2 different types of tuition fees. One is program fees, and the other one are local administrative fees. So every year, students are asked to pay annual program tuition fees, and the amount is 2,500 euro per year. On top of that, you are expected to pay in each partner universities, so in each of the 4 universities, local administrative fees, and the amount is slightly different depending on the university. For instance, in Trento, for the first semester, we ask you to pay 500 euro, and with this 500 euro, you are enrolled as a student at the University of Trento for the full EMBS program, first and second year. So you pay only once at your arrival in Trento, the first semester, and then you are enrolled at the University of Trento until your graduation day.
May I add to this, if you are coming to Kassel, so you are enrolled at the Kassel University only for one semester, you have to pay 280 euros roundabout. I'm not sure, Emmanuel, maybe you can become concrete on the amount.
Yeah, around 200 euro, if I'm not wrong. And then again, I think 500 euro, 400, 500 euros for the University of Leon. But yeah, I think that what you need to know is that it's around 3,500 euros each year.
Yeah. And for this Kassel administrational fee, this covers the local transport. So you have then the right to ride trams and buses, and you get price discounts in our Mensa. So basically, if you are staying on the campus every day, it's a very good deal.
Yes, and for France, so in NC, you also have to pay national tuition fees, which are 243 euro and 90 euro for the student life campus contribution. So that's what you have to pay in addition to the 2,500 euro for a year.
And also, if you, it's not a lot, it's around 20, 30 euros for the insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any other questions? Because in the chat there are no other questions, I think.
Someone is leaving. Like, before you leave, if you want, you can contact us. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or if you want, we can even leave our email addresses or telephone numbers in the chat.
Yeah, like we are only 2 of EMBS 13, but even the 14th generation, like you can find us on LinkedIn. You just ask us to connect and you send the question you have. In case, you can also contact Lorenza of the French administration. For the more technical ones, they're very responsive. Sometimes you even have the email in 15 minutes. You're like, wow. And they're very precise and more about everything administrative, but every other question, even the professor, you can ask them some email. They're very here for us. So don't hesitate at all.
Okay, if no other question, maybe we shall conclude this session. So thank you very much to all the people who did some presentation and all the participants for your very interesting questions. I think this session is going to be put online on our website in case you want to see again one of the questions and the replies that have been made. So thank you very much for your attention, and have a nice afternoon, and maybe see you back soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Should we stay or can we leave? Oh, she's gone. So we can all go. I will miss her. See you.
Thank you very much, Elsa.
No problem.
All the best. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Brigitte. Bye.